Hi, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Nika, and here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. So today I'm going to talk about my witchy goals, and the whole point of this is, I'm kind of still vibing off of Samhain's New Year, Witch's New Year energy, um, and for me, when I think a new year, I think goals. I think a goal list. So that's what I'm doing. So if you haven't thought about doing this, it might be something that might inspire you. And it's your witchy goals. So not other goals. Changing, your hair, or doing some other stuff, or moving. No, that's not part of it. It can be if you make it magical, but we're talking witchy stuff. So I'm going to share my list. So the first thing is runes. Oh, geez, I'm so behind the times on runes, literally behind the times on runes. I am going to do this. I am working on getting some sort. First of all, I want, for me, in order to learn it, I want to create a sheet with the symbols on it. So I'll create a page, and I'm going to make it all cute and fancy for me. And I'll draw the symbols and put the meanings and that sort of stuff that works in my head. If I write it down, and then I see it on the paper and I wrote it down, and the meaning, it makes sense in my head for me to memorize it. And then, of course, there's the matter of just throwing the runes and learning how to interpret and read it and all that sort of stuff. So I'm doing it. I swear, that's number one on my witchy goals list. Along that lines, the next is exploring divination, other types of divination. So I'm a tarot card reader. I got that under control. That's my jam. I love doing that. Runes, almost there. Hold on, I'm getting that together. Um, Tea leaves, definitely want to get into that. Water divination. Then I want to learn, not learn, but I guess see if it's even possible, if this is a talent that I have, of automatic writing, where you sort of receiving messages and you just write it out. You kind of go into a meditative trance-like state or something like that. So definitely want to give that a whirl. I did try that some years ago, and it just felt like nothing was happening. So I want to try it again and keep trying. Like, I want to make a point to say, okay, let's see if we can get this going. So there's that. The other thing is to create a deeper but doable spiritual practice that's customized just for me and my lifestyle. So I'm doing that now, yes, but I want to level my spiritual path up. I want it leveled up more. A deeper connection, meaning, for me, it's about the good times and the not so great times. I gotta have a firm foundation to get me through life. We're all, getting up there. So, I have a mother. My grandmother was still living. She's older. I'm very close to her growing up. In times of loss and things like that, I need to have a spiritual system in place that can ground me and hold me and help carry me through. It won't take away hurt, grief, pain, loss, all that. I understand that. But I need to be able to fall back on it so that I'm able to get through the pain, grief, loss, and so forth. So, also in times of awesomeness, you want to be thankful, you want to be grateful. And I just want to be very clear along my spiritual path to who I'm grateful to whom I'm grateful to. Um, Sometimes I kind of, it all intersects, and I'll just say spirit, even to myself when I'm, in my head. And I really should be thanking my ancestors, because I did spell work, or I've been putting my intentions out and I've been communicating with them about something, and it comes through, and I'm thinking the universe, you know, um, as opposed to just, I was very intimate in asking and putting the intention out, but not as intimate in the gratitude. So that sort of stuff. And that's something I just want to be very mindful of, and make that part of my practice, my level up. The other thing I want to do is a spell a day challenge. So a spell a day is like a 30-day challenge. And I've seen other people do stuff like this. There are even books to help you do a spell a day for a year. I don't know about a year. I'm committing to 30 days and let's see where that goes. So intentional spell work, not just, maybe you can, have a little coffee, tea, spell a spell for the day and that could count, but something a little bit more with a little bit more brevity. Even if you have a 7-day candle going, you you light up a chime candle in between. Or maybe it's not candle magic at all. Maybe it's making a concoction or potion or I don't know, something like that. I haven't worked all the details out, but I want to do it. The next is start a new book of shadows. So when I say a new, I mean a second edition. I'm almost done with my first one. I'm running out of pages very quickly and I'm about to fill those up. So I want to start a new book of shadows. I've already purchased it. The book that I'm going to use is a sketchbook. You get them from Michael's. They're solid color, hardback, with sketch paper, really plain blank canvas. They're about $7. So they're very reasonable, but you can do whatever you want. You can decorate the outside. You can obviously decorate the inside. So I love those for that purpose. So I've already purchased it. I just have to set it up, of course, dedicate it and all that sort of stuff. And it's a challenge creating a new book of shadows because those first few pages, you want it to mean something, to you and the intent of the book. So I got to think into that because it's second edition. What do you want to put in the second edition? So I'm thinking, what did I need that I didn't have in the first one? Or, yeah, it's a whole thing. So I'm going to write that out and create more lists, which I love making lists. So that'll be great. Next goal is set up another altar. So I want to set up an altar outside. So this is something that's going to be probably after Christmas because I first want to decorate inside of my house and finish it, and I'm taking it room by room. So I've been just doing little bits, things here and there, but I haven't really haven't gone all in because I kind of needed to live in this space and just know how are we going to live? Am I going to keep the living room this way? Am I going to change it around? So now that I'm a little more comfortable, it's only been a couple months, I'm ready to go full-blown decorating. So I'm going to do the inside first and then I'll get to the outside. So I'm thinking about putting an altar outside and off my bedroom and on my patio outside. And I'm playing around with some ideas. I might skip ahead and just do it outside, but I need seating. I have a portable little fold-up chair out there right now. It's not very comfortable to sit in to do rituals and things like that. So I'll need outdoor furniture for outside. So we'll see how that plays out, but that's something I want to do by the spring. I have to do it before next summer because otherwise I'll die outside because it'll be too hot. And my other goal is to continue to lend a magical hand where needed. I have had the pleasure of doing some magical workings for someone that I do know, and I never met the person in person. I never met them in person, but I do know them, and it was successful, so I feel great about that, and I would love to have other opportunities to do that where it makes sense for me. Of course, I've consulted before I did anything with my ancestors to make sure it made sense. Was this the right person I should be working with and all that sort of stuff. There was no money exchange at the time. It's more for me to just work with other people besides the people I know and for myself. So I'd like to continue to do that. That was a good experience for me. And then my big witchy goal is to create a mini course. Something I'm thinking modern day cottage witchery. Modern day because I want to talk about, modern life and the technology that we now have. We got talking refrigerators, guys. We have washers and dryers that you can control with an app. And when you're talking about practicing witchcraft, it's, organic, it's of the natural world, yes. But when we're talking cottage witchery, it is still those things, but we're talking about the home. And cottage witchery is so encompassing. It's kitchen witchery, it's protection magic, it's a little bit of hedge witchery, and all of those sort of things kind of in one. Excuse me. So modern appliances and things like that would fit into your magic, because do you have to put certain crystals up to maybe, block out energy, because you now have Wi-Fi, so you might have different placements for altars because of your router. All of that sort of stuff that we typically don't think about. I want to devise a course to get into that, and obviously a little bit more. I most likely will touch on a little bit of political views as far as feminism and things like that. Do you have to be a woman to practice cottage witchery? And just go informative course, and give an opportunity to sort of, the student to do work that would maybe put them more in line with practicing cottage witchcraft. So that's something I'm looking forward to working on. Again, that's going to probably be a little bit more time before I get to that. I'm thinking at least 2020 before that's done, because I'd like to really focus on it and have a, even though it's a mini course, with good content, something beefy, something you can latch onto and it makes sense and it's interesting. So those are my goals that I have, my witchy goals that I have starting now going into 2020 Samhain. So that's what I have. So for me, it's important to have goals because I need something to aspire to. I like to set my own course. So if you're wondering, well, should you even bother with spiritual goals or witchy goals? For me, it promotes growth. It allows room for growth. None of us know everything. So there's always something to learn or something to revisit. That's why I think it was even beneficial to do this type of channel, because you can always learn something. I could be going over stuff. I could go over candle magic, for instance, and I could be talking about the different colors. And if you've been practicing even for a small amount of time, witchcraft that is, you probably know, to use a green candle for money. You don't have to, but you probably know. You can use a white candle in place of almost anything if that's all you got, right? So those are things you know. But then I drop a bomb on you and tell you something like, well, we're going to actually make the candle, and I'm going to show you how to make it with, things you have around your home, and we're going to put our magical intent into it. And I'm going to show you how to create your own colors using food dyes and stuff like that, or whatever, you know what I mean? And we go into this whole thing. You're like, okay, so I could buy a store-bought candle and do all this, but I could grab a couple things in my house and make this thing happen, and it's infused with even more of my magical energy. The other thing is, I talked about deeper meaning, developing a deeper meaning. So why do you do this? Why do you care about crystals? Why do you care about the moon phases? Why are you wasting your time? When I said wasting your time, are you wasting your time believing in all of this stuff? That's why you need to set goals. It helps develop a deeper meaning. It helps develop the answers to those whys if they ever come up to your head or somebody else is asking. You don't have to answer them, but you might be thinking about it. So it helps you sort of come to your own reconciliation in your head on, why am I doing this? Why is this my path to begin with? Which goes into the next thing. Setting witchy goals can help you decide. You might not even want to be on the path that you're on. So, for instance, as I mentioned, overall, I would say I'm an eclectic witch, right? I think most people are. Most people probably identify as an eclectic witch. Most. So, I developed more of an affinity toward cottage witchery. And who's to say what's going to happen down the line, where it might go? I might decide my chosen path is to go more, I don't know, whatever else. I don't know, friggin' sea witch. I'll move to the ocean again. So something along those lines. But because I've set these goals, and the goals might be to explore other paths or other concepts that I normally don't deal with, it might open a new world to me, and I might have a calling to that. So that's the other thing. Developing a connection to spirit or your deity or your ancestors. whatever it is you're trying to connect to or probably need to connect to. Setting goals could help you do that, because one of your goals could be to set up an ancestor altar. Let's just start there. Or to get a reading done to see, which deity, which goddess you not need to, but that you would like to have reverence for, you would like to connect with. Or they might just approach you directly and tell you. But you would have to maybe have a goal of setting up the space in your life so that you could welcome those connections and that information. So, and the other thing I just want to say is setting witchy goals, it can change your life, your mundane life, because our mundane life, some of us have to go to work, you got to clean the house, take care of the kids, or if you don't have children, it might just seem this monotonous: wake up, get dressed, go to work, come home, eat, sleep, and repeat. And you live for the weekend. So having witchy goals like the spell a day breaks up the monotony, of the mundane, and helps you to sort of refocus. That way maybe you can actually have appreciation for some of the mundane stuff throughout your day. Like when you come home from work, and if you have pets or you have kids and they're so excited to see you, that should be gratifying, hopefully, to you. That should be a great feeling that you get. And breaking up parts of your life with magic, intentional magic, can have a positive impact on your life, because, like I said, it can have you appreciate the things that are not so magical. At least they do for me. And the other thing, just the last sort of thing as far as the whys, why do a witchy goal, is because I think it helps you to be sort of the conductor of your spiritual path. You're not being led by a person, somebody else's teachings, something bigger than you, or what you perceive to be bigger than you, or spirits or ancestors or angels or whatever. You can be led by those, but you also are in control here. Your intent is what's fueling everything. So to me, setting my witchy goals kind of keeps me in alignment with that thought, because for me, I can't exist in this world thinking I'm just moving with the wind, because wherever the ancestors tell me to go, I go, or wherever the universe tells me to go, and that's where I go. I set my own course. I consult with my ancestors about things that I do, and of course they warn me, of course they provide advice, suggestions, but ultimately, I'm the conductor. I'm driving this thing. So it's going to be where I want to go, my path. Along that path, yeah, please advise me. But this is the path I'm on, so that I chose. And to me, setting your own witchy goals reinforces this is your path. This is only you can do your witchcraft your way, not my way. And I'm not going to do it your way. It's individualized. There are some common things we have, but for the most part, it's individualized. So, and that's a good thing, because that way it'll have more meaning to you and more meaning to me. So that's my whole thing on witchy goals. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it. And if you kind of really liked it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'll have more content coming. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. Bye.